What's going on, everybody? Payne back here again with another Marvel Future Revolution video. Guys, today we're going to be focusing on a brand new player's guide and what new players should be doing when they jump on in the game. We're going to cover topics such as leveling, how to focus on spending your crystals, what to spend them on, and overall just quality of life gaming that you should be doing when you first branch into this game and start playing it when it launches global. Alright guys, let's check it out. Alright everybody, welcome back to another new player's guide. Today we're going to be focusing on everything that a new player should be doing when you start off in the game. So we're going to start with the basics, guys. We're going to talk about what character you should make and what character feels best for you as a player. Now, I've done a quick little guide about Spider-Man, but I want to talk about the rest of the characters and what they're all about and what you should choose based on your playstyle. And first and foremost, you're going to see Captain America. Good old Cap. Captain America is by far the best tank and only tank in the game that can provide shield buffs, that has a ton of defense, and is extremely hard to kill. So if you're somebody who wants to be a good support character, somebody who wants to taunt and take mobs off of your team and support your team by shielding them and just be extremely hard to kill, he is the definition of what a tank is. So if you want to be that person, so think of a paladin, a warrior, or somebody like that in a Final Fantasy game, Captain America essentially covers that role. So that is what he's all about. Captain Marvel actually has the best late game abilities for damage. In the beginning, she's pretty mediocre, so you will have to invest quite a bit of time and work into her. But she has the strongest ultimate in the game. Some of the flashiest moves, can fly. It's pretty much the total package. But again, she really shines in late game. So this is somebody that you want to do as an alt. I don't recommend going too deep into her, but if you are planning to use her as a main, just be ready to put a lot of resources into Captain Marvel. But again, a fantastic character to use and actually pretty easy to use as well too. Take these control difficulties with some thought, because they do actually represent how hard a character is to use and how hard they are to control in battle. And 3 stars is a pretty average thing, so she plays well, she does great damage, but again, will require a lot of work. Alright, Spider-Man, my personal favorite. The best dodge character in the game, one of the easiest characters to use in terms of DPS, because most of the moves that he does will follow the opponent, such as his web shots or his robots, etc. Easily the best dodge tank in the game. Very hard to kill, has a fatal revive pretty much, so every moment he takes fatal damage in a specialization, he'll come back with a little bit of health and maximum dodge as well. And overall, just really fun to use, and some of the best mechanics in the game in my opinion. So probably the top unit in PvP next to Black Widow. So if you're looking for somebody to counter Black Widow, Spider-Man's the way to go. Alright, speaking of Black Widow, the best damage dealer in the game by far. There's nobody in this game that will do more damage currently in the meta than Black Widow. Whether it's you going with snipe, or you're going for debuffs, or if you're just stealthing and just picking off opponents, Black Widow is the way to go if you like a rogue type character, which can burst damage really quickly and take opponents out in a blink of an eye. So definitely Black Widow, guys, if you want a damage dealer. Alright, Iron Man. Iron Man is another really good damage dealer. This time you're looking at a lot more flashy, a lot easier to use in terms of flight abilities and mobility. Iron Man is also a huge damage dealer and starts off strong right from the get-go. The only limitations to him, I believe, are he doesn't really have much debuffs, but he does do a ton of AoE damage. So if you have a lot of mobs coming at you, very easy to kill them off, and on single target damage, you can't go wrong. So Iron Man, one of the best units in the game for damage dealing, bar none. Doctor Strange. Now this is going to be a unique one. Doctor Strange is a great buff character, has very good damage actually for a buff character as well too, and has a lot of invincibility frames. So if you're looking for somebody who has cool design, really cool invincibility frames, and also can provide buffs to yourself and your party, Doctor Strange is no slouch. He's probably one of the better characters in the game right now, probably the most balanced character in the game in my opinion, and I love using him personally. And like I said, a lot of his frames give him a lot of invincibility, plus his flight is is amazing to use in combat. So a big fan. All right, Star-Lord. Unfortunately, the only character I really can't justify using right now because his debuffs are unfortunately a little bit lackluster. They do definitely need to increase his debuff durations as well as the amount of damage they do. He does cause all 3 debuff, shock, burn, and I believe there's one other one that he does. But unfortunately, right now with the way he's placed into the game, he doesn't really fit a role well enough, as others have better control, better debuffs, and as well to do way more damage. So Star-Lord will probably get a little bit of buff, but if you're looking to use him as somebody you love, don't stop. Like, they may eventually buff him during the global launch. All right, and then lastly, we have the only X-Men in the team, and that is Storm. Amazing character. The only problem with Storm is her casts take really long. But when they do connect, they connect hard, and they can usually one-shot opponents easily. So great for PvP, great for PvE. Overall, one of the coolest looking characters and some of the best design. But again, the casting time is really long. The main thing I want to tell you guys, if you're looking to play this game, is play the character you like. Remember, there are slots to play all the characters. So right now, you want to just jump on, play a character out, try them out. You can always delete the character and empty that slot out and play somebody else. It does not hurt your progression. So play who you like right now, but that is my suggestion. My favorite starting characters are Spidey, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, and those are the ones I would probably choose if you want to start off the game. Alright guys, this is the character select one. We're going to jump on to crystals. Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of the guide. Now we're going to talk about crystals before we talk about how to level quickly and what to do. Crystals are going to be your main source pretty much for everything. So what should you be using crystals for as a brand new player? Real quick, a lot of you are going to assume it's going to be the gacha system to pull costumes, omega cards, dimension boxes, etc. That is actually not what you want to use it for originally. Focus on getting yourself your inventory slot maxed out. That's the first and foremost thing that everybody should be doing. Now I'm going to go to inventory real quick and explain to you guys why that's so important. Now you start off, I believe, at 125 and you can max it out at 250. Inventory is going to be something that is crucial to your farming and crucial for you to collect all of your stuff that you need. Now in inventory, things such as your enhancements, your blueprint, your crafting material, your boxes are all going to sit in the first slot. The second slot is going to be all of your badges, which you're going to be doing a ton of farming for because you want to dismantle those and use them for the conveyance box. And there's also your cores, and lastly your costumes. All of this are very, very critical to your character growth. So your inventory slot is going to be your first and foremost thing that you should guys max out completely. 250 is the max. All right, and you have the ability, if you go into your actual squad, to increase your storage capacity, which can be shared amongst your characters, also to 250. So all of your resources, guys, for the first little while is going to be focused on maxing out these two things. Now there is a section for omega cards, but they have their own inventory slot. This is not a requirement to max out. As you can see here, I have 135 only opened up, and that's plenty for me to do all my combining. So the omega cards, guys, you can actually avoid from doing that. Other things you can do, as we mentioned, was the gacha system. But before you do that, guys, I mean, you can. Pulling costs is important. It guarantees you a 3-star minimum, but keep in mind it is a very low chance to get yourself a 4 and a 5-star, let alone any of the regional sets. So crafting will be your biggest friend in terms of getting that done, even though that is really low as well too. Other really important things to really to upgrade your crystals with are going to be your chances to do your blitz. Now blitz are going to be ways to get the best batches in the game, specifically level 100 and level 90. For those who get there eventually, you'll want to definitely do the reward count refresh on the bare minimum Maestro. The reason why is he drops the only set piece that's PvE related that has an actual set piece bonus, and there are some of the best set piece bonuses in the game. So definitely, guys, using refreshes for this is important. Another big refresh you want to focus on as well too is rating, guys. Rating, as you can see, I have 4 out of 1, is going to be the way you increase your specialization on your characters, and that will give you some of the best increases to your power. So crystals, use it for inventory first and foremost. Get that out of the way, and then get the refreshes on your character, and then you can use it for the gacha system. Another really big one though that you want to focus on, guys, is when you saw me select my hero in the beginning, you originally start with only 4 slots. There are another additional 4 slots you can buy with your crystals, and I highly recommend that because you want to increase as many characters as you can in the game to also increase your squad power, which affects all of your alts as well as your mains total power overall. Alright guys, so that is what your crystals want to be used for. Now let's actually talk about leveling and how you want to focus on and what you want to focus on when you do level. Alright, let's get into that. Alright guys, welcome back. So this game is nothing but a grind. I mean, like, the entire game is pretty much grinding. So if you're into having no stamina and unlimited ability to play a game non-stop all day, this game is definitely for you. And that is why you want to level efficiently, right? Because there are so many different factors of leveling and how many characters you have to level. I mean, you don't have to, but it's probably the best way to go. I'm going to explain to you guys the most efficient way of leveling and what you guys should do with brand new players coming in. So there's going to be a couple different things you're going to do on the map. Number one, you're going to see these little these quests. The purple ones are going to be your main story quest, MSQs. So the MSQs are the ones you want to actually follow throughout the entire story. Now, along the way in the map, you're going to see green quests as well, which are side quests, and you're going to see yellow quests, which are situational quests. So you stumble upon an NPC, they have a request for you, you want to do those. So what should you focus on as a brand new player? So the biggest thing you want to focus on, guys, is completing your main story quest. Okay, now if you click on this here, I want to show you real quick, and you click on the auto, it'll automatically take you there. All right, so now you can see here how many, like, you can always go back and do these green side quests anytime you want. As you can see here, they're all available. You just have to click them and you can actually follow to them anytime. But the main story quest, guys, is what's going to give you the most amount of experience points. And my suggestion to you is simply get all of these done. Now, here's a yellow quest. See, there's an NPC that's talking to me. If you go by the NPC, they'll actually give you this quest. Now this one here, on the other hand, you actually want to do the yellow ones. The yellow ones are situational, they're very random, and they'll pop up once in a while. So take the time to actually do these, and sometimes they're timed as well. So yellow quest and purple quest are going to be your priorities. Green quest, on the other hand, you want to do on a later basis. But the reason why for that is because you can come back being a lot stronger and just rip right through these instead of doing them while you're leveling up and focusing at the same level. So the big thing is, keep in mind in your activity log, guys, when you're a brand new player, okay, you're gonna have this section here which kind of covers every single part of the world, and it'll actually tell you the epic missions that you have available. Those are the main story quests. The side missions, which are the green quests, so you can always go back and kind of see what's available to you, as well as doing the most wanted villains. Now this activity log, along with questing, is going to be your main source of resources and EXP. So make sure, guys, don't worry about the activity completing the activity log right away. Go back and come back to this when you're ready and more powered up, because you'll rip through it a lot quicker. So definitely focus on the main story quest, guys. Now another question people are going to ask, Payne, do we auto or do we manual play? Absolutely auto. Auto everything except for a couple things you don't want to auto. So autoing is great for just mindless side quests, okay? If you're side questing and your main storyline questing, definitely auto that. But the one thing to note about auto is, number one, it will not perform your ultimates for you, so you do have to be there to do that. So Netmarble has made it that you do have to pay some attention. Number two, it will not dodge. There will be no dodging at all on your behalf. As you can see here, my dodge has not been activated once, so you do have to dodge if they're a strong enemy. So the only time, guys, you really want to get off of auto is when you are doing boss fights. Boss fights are going to require for you to use your ultimate, such as this, right? As Iron Man's ultimate, you're going to be required to use dodge a lot as well too, so make sure you're there for that. And also anything that's PvP related. So there's going to be some main quests where you actually have to go into a PvP fight, do some extra modes like Blitz, etc. Definitely don't auto those, especially for free-to-play player. You want to focus on targeting the proper people, using the proper moves, and timing those correctly, right? So another thing while you're questing, you're going to see these converging crystals. We've talked about these in previous videos. You want to make sure, guys, when you see them, get off auto and actually collect these. Okay, so here I'm going to click on it. The reason why is they actually give you these convergent particles, which are going to be for crafting and other sources of combining and creating costumes, etc. They're pretty much your main source for doing all things craft related or enhanced related or combination related. So they're used in the workshop, they're used in costumes, cores, they're used in trying to think what else. There are other items they're used for as well too. I just can't think of the top of my head, but they're pretty much your main source of crafting. Okay, so make sure you do that. That is going to be the best way. Now, again, for leveling purposes though, the fastest way to level, guys, is completing your main story quest. But you definitely do have to go back and do the side quest eventually, because you're going to hit a roadblock where your level won't be high enough, or the bosses are going to be too difficult, and that's when you go back and you complete those side quests much quicker than you would be now. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. The fastest way to level: main quest, come back for the side quests in the future. Make sure you do all the yellow quests you stumble upon. Play auto during the main quest storyline until you get to a boss or a point where you have to PvP. Then take it off auto and play manual. Alright guys, that is the fastest way to level. The next thing I want to talk about is, this game is grindy, yes. So what should you be doing on a daily basis, and what can you be doing to maximize the amount of time you put into this game versus what you should be focusing on a lot as a brand new player, and where your main goals should be set. All right, let's talk about that next. Alright guys, welcome back to the last portion of the first guide I'm making for new players. Now this is going to be something I want to talk about because when you jump into this game and you unlock all of the different modes, it's going to be very overwhelming because there's so much to do, guys, and a lot of people complain about games having stamina, which kind of stop you from playing the game all day long. Well, this game doesn't suffer from that problem. As a matter of fact, it doesn't suffer from anything because you can play this game as long as you want for as much as you want, and to some people that's going to be a great thing because people love to grind, and some people it's going to be a bad thing because they don't have the time to do so. So I want to break down what you should be grinding if you don't have the time and what you should be grinding even if you do have the time, right? So the main modes you should be focusing on. All right, so let's talk about PvE first. So the first thing I mentioned before is Blitz. Do not skip these. Do all of your blitz. Doesn't matter if you're level 100 and you're doing the 20. You don't want to miss out on the convergiums from the banner, from the badges that drop. You can dismantle those, right? And you can put them in the conveyance belt. And also you don't want to miss out on the squad rank EXP, guys. You should be doing these every single time. The only one though that you should ever refresh is the Maestro one, and I already explained the reason why behind that during the crystal section. So definitely, guys, every single day just run through these. You can mostly set these on auto if you're already at level 100. The only ones you may have to focus on are maybe these three here. Unless you're a whale, then you just auto everything. Literally, you'll just bypass it. So this is Blitz. You want to do every day from top to bottom, all 3 turns. This one is you want to do 6 turns. All right, PvE for sure. Most wanted. Listen, a lot of people neglect this, and I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but this is an easy one. Jump in here, kill 3 bosses. Number 1, it completes your activity log. Number 2, you can complete villains on there as well too, as well as just super villains, right? But the bonus here is the rewards, right? These 4 costumes, guys, it's an incredible achievement to have because the 4 costumes are really hard to get in the first place. So that's 4 less crafting materials that you need. So definitely, guys, work on getting this. Now remember, most wanted only works 1 time a day. So pick the unit you want to do it on, and those are the boxes that you can get these costumes for, right? So if it's an alt that you want to level, do these on the alt. If it's a boss you want to level, do it on that. With that being said, I didn't mention this. While you're leveling and you see these bosses, guys, participate in the boss fights because you can get yourself Omega cards as well as drops such as their Omega card boxes on primes especially, and it's a great way to collect Omega cards and also complete the activity log. So boss farming is something you should be doing. You get to do 7 mini bosses a day and you get to do 2 prime bosses daily. All right, so most wanted, definitely get that out of the way. It's a one-shot thing, so don't neglect that. All right, now PvE, the biggest rewards you're going to get is going to come from these special operations. These special operations, right now there is an event where they give you a free costume box, but normally they give you a lot of squad EXP. They give you sim particles, one of the only places you can get them, cores and other costume boxes as well too. But the beauty here, guys, is the weekly rank. Now this is where the grind kind of begins, right? The weekly rank and the rewards behind it are fantastic. So if you don't like the dimensional zone, dark zone, where it's a pure PvP, PvE, mass brawl, you know, full world map, this is the same rewards you get from Dark Zone. This is Net Marbles counteract to that. So this is pure PvE where it's 4 players coming together and doing events. Now you can do this as many times as you want and continue growing your points. You get the reward count only once, but it doesn't stop you from continuously playing and increasing your total point value. See, you can see here, somebody's already got 14 million, and this is the fastest and most effective way, guys, to get yourself costumes. So if you're free to play and you have the time, this is the PvE event you want to farm non-stop. All right, battle challenges, this is more of a for fun thing. Do these when you have time. You do get great rewards, and they do reset weekly. And then total weekly rewards, you get a ranking as well too. You can see you get core, so it's a great reward too. So definitely should be focusing on this, guys. And it's a great opportunity to learn about your character and how to fight specific bosses and certain stipulations, right? So another really cool thing. And then lastly, raids. Raids are going to be something you definitely want to focus on, and you want to work with either whales. So be nice to the whales, guys, where they can run you through these and carry you. Put in some weight, put in some of your work though as well too. Don't make them do all the work, or get together with 2, 3, 4 others and do these versions. I remember there are the challenge ones which drop greens, there's extreme which drop greens and purples, and then lastly there's ultimates which drop greens, purples, and oranges. And this is the one you want to tackle most anyways, and you can refresh these up to 3 times a day. So that's PvE, but the main one you want to focus on, guys, is going to be special operations for sure, and the raids and the blitz. The rest of them are optional. PvE, all right. So dimensional duel, honestly, to be be frank with you guys, I've been number 1 for the last few weeks. I've kind of stopped playing it as much because I don't find the rewards are really worth it. Do the 5 for sure, but don't really, if you're aiming to be number 1, it's more bragging rights. The actual weekly rewards aren't really that good, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. So don't worry about that. Omega War, on the other hand, actually does have really good rewards, so you will put a lot of focus into this. I was first the last week. I haven't logged in for like 3 days because I've been so busy with work, but yeah, definitely put in some work, guys, into this. These crystals are the main source of currency in this game, so definitely put in work into Omega War. That'll be your main PvP place if you don't like Dark Zone. But Dark Zone really is the one that most people will work with, and that is essentially a place you go into, you fight bosses, mini bosses plus prime bosses. You can collect yourself Omega cards throughout the entire thing. The boss stipulations are as follows: you can kill 7 mini bosses to get the cards, and it stops providing you cards, and then 2 primes, they stop providing you cards, and then from there it's just points, right? And the person that gets the most amount of points here on a weekly basis will get themselves a reward, and the reward lists are badges that drop from Dark Zone, which are level 100 badges, and they have really good effects. So for the badge purposes, this is the best way. So this plus special operations, so Dark Zone special operations and Omega War are your 3 best power increases. If you can farm these non-stop and you can get yourself up in the scale of of being the top 10 even, you can collect yourself some power weekly pretty quickly, guys, and get up there and dominate in this game. Alright guys, so that's been pretty much it. I hope this guide helped you guys out. If you have any further questions, new player especially, give me a shout on the comment section. Send me a like, a subscribe. I'll be covering more games on this. I've changed my banner and my logo many times this week. I'm just still deciding what I want to do. I'll definitely still be playing this game, but my main focus is going to shift a little bit to Punishing Grey Raven, which is going to be another game that I'm currently really in love with. So I'll be doing some content on that most likely, and maybe some Alchemy Stars because I've been playing that for a while. But we'll see. And I actually do want to start covering some Final Fantasy 14 as well, just gameplay. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for 2,000 days, so I've been there since day 1, since I did the whole Cataclysm event. So I'll definitely be doing that. So check that out if you're interested. But for now on, this is Marvel Future Revolution. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Payne. Give me a subscribe, give me a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.